Every man, no matter where he comes from, eventually faces certain defining challenges in life. These challenges are not always obvious at first, but they shape his character, his discipline, and the direction of his future. Life has a way of testing a man to see whether he will grow into strength or fall into distraction. Many people believe success is simply about luck or opportunity, but in reality it is often about how well a person handles the tests placed in front of him. A man who learns to recognize these tests early gains a powerful advantage because he begins to move through life with awareness and purpose instead of confusion. One of the first major tests many men face involves relationships with women. Attraction is natural, connection is meaningful, and companionship can bring joy and support. However, this part of life can also become a powerful distraction if it is not handled with maturity and self-control. A man who loses focus chasing attention or validation often finds himself drifting away from his goals. The test is not about avoiding women, but about understanding balance. It asks whether a man can appreciate relationships without allowing them to control his direction or weaken his discipline. Many men fail this test because they confuse attention with purpose. They spend valuable time and energy trying to impress others instead of building themselves. Social approval can feel rewarding in the moment, but it does not replace the long-term satisfaction of personal growth. When a man understands his purpose, he begins to approach relationships with a different mindset. He values connection, but he refuses to sacrifice his ambitions and responsibilities for temporary excitement. Self-respect becomes the foundation of passing this test. When a man respects himself, he sets clear boundaries for how he spends his time and energy. He chooses relationships that support his growth rather than ones that drain his focus. This mindset changes everything. Instead of chasing approval, he attracts respect. Instead of seeking validation, he builds value within himself. Emotional discipline also plays a huge role in this challenge. Feelings can be powerful, and attraction can sometimes cloud judgment. A man who learns to manage his emotions develops the ability to make thoughtful decisions rather than impulsive ones. Emotional discipline does not mean ignoring feelings. It means understanding them and making choices that align with long-term goals rather than short-term excitement. Clarity about personal purpose helps a man stay grounded. When he knows what he wants to build in life, distractions become easier to recognize. Purpose acts like a compass that guides decisions and priorities. Without that compass, it is easy to drift from one situation to another without meaningful progress. Another important part of this test is learning the difference between admiration and distraction. Healthy relationships encourage growth, respect, and support. Distractions, on the other hand, often create instability and confusion. Recognizing this difference requires awareness and honesty with oneself. A man who passes this test does not become distant or cold. Instead, he becomes more thoughtful about the connections he builds. He values quality over quantity in relationships. He understands that meaningful partnerships grow from mutual respect, trust, and shared values. Growth also requires patience. Many people rush into relationships without truly understanding themselves first. When a man takes time to develop his character, his confidence, and his goals, he becomes better prepared to build strong and healthy relationships later. Confidence built through self-improvement is different from confidence based on attention. Attention fades quickly, but self-improvement creates lasting strength. A man who invests in his skills, his knowledge, and his discipline develops a quiet confidence that does not depend on external approval. Respect for women is also an essential part of this journey. Understanding their perspectives, valuing their individuality, and treating them with kindness creates healthier interactions. True strength is not about control or dominance. It is about maturity, responsibility, and respect. Communication becomes another key skill. Clear and honest communication prevents misunderstandings and builds trust. A man who expresses his intentions respectfully creates stronger connections than someone who relies on manipulation or confusion. Time management is another hidden aspect of this test. Time is one of the most valuable resources a person has. When a man learns to prioritize his responsibilities while still maintaining healthy relationships, he develops balance in his life. Personal growth should never stop. Even within relationships, a man must continue developing himself. Growth keeps life meaningful and prevents stagnation. It also ensures that relationships evolve in positive ways rather than becoming sources of limitation. Another lesson within this test is learning when to walk away from situations that do not support personal values. Not every connection is meant to last forever. Recognizing when a relationship no longer aligns with your direction requires courage and self-respect. Independence is another powerful quality. When a man builds a life that is fulfilling on its own, relationships become additions to his happiness rather than replacements for it. Independence creates emotional stability and confidence. Patience allows relationships to grow naturally. Rushing often leads to mistakes that could have been avoided with time and understanding. Taking time to know someone deeply builds stronger foundations. Responsibility also plays a major role in maturity. Every choice in life has consequences, and relationships are no different. A responsible man understands the impact of his actions and strives to act with integrity. Learning from experience helps refine judgment. Each relationship, whether successful or challenging, offers lessons about communication, trust, and compatibility. These lessons become valuable tools for future growth. Respecting personal boundaries is another sign of maturity. Healthy relationships allow both individuals to maintain their identity and personal goals while supporting each other. Trust builds slowly but can be damaged quickly. A man who values honesty and consistency creates an environment where trust can grow naturally. Ambition should never disappear because of distraction. When a man remains committed to his dreams and responsibilities, he creates a stable foundation for every other part of his life. Balance becomes the ultimate goal. Life is not about choosing between success and relationships. It is about learning how to nurture both without allowing one to destroy the other. Reflection helps a man understand his own patterns and behaviors. When he reflects on his experiences, he gains insight into how he can improve and grow. Strength is not measured by how many people admire you. It is measured by your ability to remain disciplined and focused even when distractions appear. Personal standards guide decisions. A man who sets high standards for himself naturally attracts healthier relationships and opportunities. Growth often requires stepping away from environments that encourage distraction or negativity. Respecting yourself encourages others to respect you as well. Wisdom develops through experience, reflection, and patience. Every test in life carries a lesson designed to strengthen character. A man who learns from these lessons becomes calmer, wiser, and more focused. The journey of self-development never truly ends. Every day offers an opportunity to grow into a stronger version of yourself. Life will continue presenting challenges, but each challenge also carries the potential for growth. The way a man responds to these moments shapes his future. If this message speaks to you and you want more powerful insights about discipline, growth, and mastering life's challenges, subscribe to this channel and become part of a community that believes in strength, wisdom, and purpose. More powerful content is coming your way, and your journey toward becoming your best self continues right here.